And John, first time on the Friday show, you're leading up. You got a video clip for the people. What is going on?
Just a fun little interview between our friend Tucker Carlson.
Here he is.
That guy. Yeah, that's a perfect fit. That's a perfect. Yeah, that's.
By the way, is it just me, or since Trump got elected, has he also looked oranger?
I always find it funny because when you watch Tucker Carlson think while someone's talking, he always looks like he's just discovered the smell of fart. Like he doesn't completely smell the fart, but he's like, "Is that a fart?" He's got this "Is that a fart?" look on his face whenever other people are talking, and it's one of the best things ever. Okay, so we're gonna do a little a thought experiment. We're gonna play the first clip, and I want to get reactions, thoughts. We've kind of covered this before. Then we're gonna play that second clip, and that's when I want to really see what happens.
Okay. Hold on, real quick. Let me just make sure I can hear too. All right, here we go.
All right, let's roll.
Nothing.
Quiet.
No sound.
I keep forgetting. I always mess that part up. Here we go.
Of course, but I just, and I don't want to be too persistent on this, but I think it's important. On what scientific basis did you decide that sitting in a church was much more dangerous than buying liquor in a liquor store? And why is buying liquor more important for the social fabric? I'm just trying to think. You're not the only governor who's done this, and I don't mean to pick on you, but I don't understand the reasoning. I don't want to think it had anything to do with tax revenues.
No, it does not have anything to do with tax revenues. Our revenues are so blown up that would be a rounding error. Trust me.
Are we good with that, or were we going to play?
That was the. I mean, he bloviates a little bit and kind of stammers. I can't just say he can't just say, well, 500 people don't pile into a liquor store at the same time. That would be obviously easy answer, right?
That's right. Yeah, no, I read the subtext. I know Tucker Carlson enough. Hey, those blacks are getting liquor while those good Christian people can't go to church. Explain this to me.
There's a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of things, and it's also that subtle. They're trying to, show that this is all a farce and that we should just reopen the economy. All these, imposed authoritarian restrictions are, we got to, this is how they're getting their foot in the door with reopen the economy. Like, you can go to a liquor store, you can go to a grocery store, but you can't go to a church. This is why it's all just, nonsense, separation of church and state, war on Christians, all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. God.
As a Christian nation, we always fight ourselves the hardest.
Yeah. So, okay, here's the thing. Like, because I understand, like, for a lot of, especially for the conservatives and Trump people, there's a whole idea of that this is all fake, that this is nothing but fake news, and COVID-19 isn't real. Well, no, it is real. It is damaging our economy. It's also a deadly virus where there's no cure, no vaccination, no immunity. So that means this virus is going to be around. And if people, let's say you get 500 people inside a church, well, that's 500 people inside a building for a prolonged period of time. And there's a good chance that they're going to get infected. And then when they get out, they're going to probably infect other people back and forth. Now, look, I understand the whole comparison. Oh, what about shopping for food or getting liquor? Well, there is a difference because at least people are trying to get in and out as fast as humanly possible. And at least within some of these grocery stores that I've been seeing, like most notably Costco, Mariano's, and Jewel, for example, they're doing the social distancing. They're taping, making sure people are 6 feet apart, and they keep on repeating it over the intercoms. And that's great. In church, though, everybody's close together. So, oh no, who has a better chance of getting COVID-19? People walking in and out of grocery stores or a liquor store, or people that are in a church or a mosque or a synagogue or a temple for a prolonged period of time?
I mean, not to mention that, again, we've talked about this. You can do all of this on a teleconference thing, right? You can do your church services through. Yeah. It doesn't have to be this way. I mean, you can't use a teleconference to get your groceries. I mean, maybe you can if you have someone come drop it up, but you know what I mean.
Well, there's one other thing too I want to bring up, and this is just for like Christianity. Just remember, I'm not a religious expert, at all. But last I checked, Jesus Christ was homeless. He was broke. He was out in the streets. He was in the thick of it, right? And never once
You can't gather 10
Yeah.
people on a street corner either. So
yeah, I know. But the thing is, never once did he encourage the idea of people being inside a, giant church or a giant building. That was not in his mindset at all. He was just outside with the people. I mean, never once was the whole idea of like going inside a building. No, that was institutionalized by the Catholic Church and then followed up by other denominations of Christianity. They're the ones that came up with that, not Jesus.
Yeah,
So there we go.
I want to remind everyone that if you see like ancient churches, they were like the original banks. They just were like, "Oh, look at all this wealth we have. It's pretty cool here. Come to our building. We're pretty awesome."
Hold
Also-
on. There's something else too. Sam in the chat, he brings this up. Can we highlight that?
Yeah, sure.
Churches are structured to support the ruling class. That's fantastic right there. That's brilliant right there. I like that, man.
Yeah, and actually, Kuya put up Kawhi's comment towards me.
Mhm.
So here's the thing with this. I'm actually gonna give. I'm not sure if you like my answer, but I think that I think if he gave it's no big deal that they're gonna die, I think that's an issue. But if he didn't go with that, I can't disagree. Like I've been saying for the entire time this has been up since the pandemic happened, that you're either gonna get it at some point or you're gonna be immune to it. Kids have the least likely chance of showing symptoms. So actually, I think his numbers are off. If anything, I think that the numbers that I'm aware of for like young kids, it's like less than 1%. A lot of people don't even do it.
This is going to derail this whole thing, but that's absolutely bananas and maniacal because the kids probably have the worst hygiene practice. Kids in school, elementary, middle school, high school, probably have the worst hygiene practices of anybody. So the risk of them getting an infection from one of the other kids and like the whole entire
then bringing it
the whole
home.
entire petri dish
Yes.
spreading and then going back to their homes. The 2 to 3% dead is not the kids. It's still going to be the adults.
That's
it's still sociopathic
to
talk about and even flirt with.
Yeah. Well, he's a TV doctor, so we have to take him.
I think
he looks at genitals, right?
But that's the original point. That's why we're distancing to begin with, is to knock down these numbers. But again, those parents are gonna get it at some point.
Yeah. It's like I always say, don't wait up. It'll get to you soon enough.
But the whole plan of the model is to not overwhelm what little infrastructure we have.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is we have so little.
We can't lose focus on why we're doing this. It's not because we think 3 weeks is going to cure this. It's because we think 3 weeks will stop the infrastructure from being overwhelmed.
Yeah, and even on that, like I'm very interested to see, like I hope Laney does that the segment we were talking about yesterday back on Sweden, because Sweden is basically like, look, we have the capacity to handle just about everyone that gets sick. So let's do it. And if they're right, they're over, like right now their infection rate and their death rate is higher than any of the surrounding countries. But if they're right, over the long term, it'll be lower as those kind of remain the same. So we'll see.
Okay, do you guys want me to put the second clip up here?
Okay, let me preface this real fast. So we kind of, we talked about it and how, it's obviously this is not apples to oranges. There's a subcontext, like he's driving this conversation towards something. He's trying to get people, Tucker Carlson, he is trying to get people to think a certain thing, right? Mm-hmm. Now watch Phil Murphy really just swing and miss, and I want to see your reactions to this part.
Okay, this is the 10:30 mark, right? Am I right on that?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay,
let's go.
Right, here we go.
Right decision to make.
So you made that decision, and as I noted before, 15 congregants at a synagogue in New Jersey were arrested and charged for being in a synagogue together. Now, the Bill of Rights, as you well know, protects Americans' right, enshrines their right to practice their religion as they see fit and to congregate together, to assemble peacefully. By what authority did you nullify the Bill of Rights in issuing this order? How do you have the power to do that?
That's above my pay grade, Tucker. So I wasn't thinking of the Bill of Rights when we did this. We went to first of all, we looked at the data and the science, and it says
that's not a good way to work.
That's it. That's good. We're good.
Okay.
That's the best.
Well, I think we've established that John would have done a better job in that interview. That's my takeaway from this.
Just
Wow.
I mean, but yeah, that's the other thing that's looming in the back of our minds when we think about the Patriot Act, when we think about everything that's happened, and never leave a good, never let a crisis go to waste, right? That's what's going on in the back of everybody's mind. And Phil Murphy just said the quiet part out loud. I had one of my veteran buddies hit me with that. He was like, "Can you believe this crap?" And I was just like, "Oh, that's going to be going in tomorrow's show." Absolutely.
Yeah.
God
Didn't
damn
even think about the Bill of Rights.
My takeaway with it is, hey, why is Tucker so surprised that this is how things work? I mean, it's like I wish Tucker Carlson felt the same way when Black Lives Matter did their thing. He sure has a different point of view when Black Lives Matter does anything ever under any circumstance. But what do I care? It's Tucker Carlson. He's a weird guy that sometimes gets things right that no one else in the media does, but most of the time it's just the same.
Yeah.
I think he's got the best, the best spin game out there, honestly, because he'll slip in those shit where you'll be like, oh damn, he's got a really good point. What if Tucker's right about a lot more things when he's still just a racist turd? In the end of the day, he's a fucking racist turd.
He's well polished though. That turd is well polished.
Oh, he's a polished turd.
Well polished on a golden plate. So there we go. So everyone could see just how polished it is and how professional it is. But that's Fox News.
It's very what's his name? Not Rush Limbaugh, the other guy, Alex Jones. It's very Alex Jonesian. Alex Jones is like, I'm gonna throw out 40 conspiracy theories and 7 are correct.
Yeah, don't listen to me. I'm just a crazy idiot in that job.
Yeah, well, see, Sugar Shane just kind of proved my point a little bit. We all like Tucker Carlson sometimes because sometimes he gets it right. Sometimes he gets it right. But at the end of the day, you got to remember, that's his foot in the door. That's his way into introducing you to these other things. Okay, he's right about these 3 things. What else is he right about? That's where that's how he slips in that soft serve fascism.
You know what we need? You know what we need that you're making me think? We should just start making random crazy conspiracy theories. Some of them will be right. Get our foot in the door.
Hey, how about there's something in the drinking water that's making frogs turn gay? I mean, hey, I don't think anyone's touched that.
No. We gotta update it. Remember, we just take all these old conspiracy theories and make them brand new and shiny, and maybe we say it's the poop in the water that's making the frogs gay.
So,
or either that, there's some weird poison air that right now the horses are breathing in. So it's turning the fathers into mothers and the mothers into mothers.
No, I know what we say. It's
there's 5G in the Tiger King videos.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
there's 5G in the Tiger King videos.
Yeah, so here's one. There's a lead in the water. I can't tell you what lead is. That's classified.
What is lead? What is lead and how does it do?
Hey, the government won't tell us, and they're not getting it out of the water.
So can I close? If you don't mind, can I close the segment out?
Yeah, sure. Close it up, man.
So the reason why I wanted to show the 2 things is because obviously, when you're thinking about it pragmatically, you're like, yeah, liquor stores and churches are not the same thing, and congregation is not the same thing as going to a liquor store to buy something. I've never actually known anybody physically addicted to the body of Christ. That's
that one woman that we covered, she was covered in Jesus' blood. Now, I will venture that wine, if it's blessed, is Jesus' blood. So maybe she just dunked wine on herself from a liquor store.
So there we go. Oh, hey, kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
There you go.
But now we have to move on. Wait, hold on, wait. John.
The thing I wanted to close out on is while we make these concessions, we have to be vigilant and watch that all these concessions that we're making are not permanent. Because like the governor said, I wasn't worried about the Bill of Rights when I did this. And that's the whole point. We have to still stay protective of our things. Hey, yeah, I'm playing along with your game right now because I understand what it means for everybody. But we still can't just let these unconstitutional things become codified, which is what we've done in the past, and we have to be ever vigilant. And I don't know if we should be taking guns and screaming in windows at the Michigan Capitol, but there's got to be some kind of 50-50, and we need to be every American needs to be watching.